I graduated from the University of Leicester in 2019, and now I'm a PhD student here as well as a graduate teaching assistant. So that means I help in quite often the first and second year modules, like with Cameron, for example. So briefly, I'll just cover semester 2 of year 1. You'll continue with the modules listed on screen, so Introduction to Object-Oriented Programming, Requirements Engineering and Professional Practice, Algorithms, Data Structures and Advanced Programming, and Foundations of Computation. So as well as Python, you will also learn Java, which you'll use kind of throughout the degree. But unlike Cameron, I didn't study computer science at A level at all, and I instead studied maths, but it was fine. The course is taught for people who kind of have no experience of programming at all, and obviously now I'm doing a PhD in it, obviously I'm fine programming wise. So as part of my PhD, I'm studying immersion and emotion in multisensory virtual environments to see if they can create kind of new ways of interacting with the virtual environments. So multisensory virtual environments have applications in healthcare, they're kind of the commercial and leisure sectors. But I've been programming scenarios in the game engine Unity for computers as well as virtual reality headsets. And so there's some examples on the right. So at the top are 2 3D models I made in Blender following tutorials online. And then the bottom image is from my upcoming PhD study. So it's made in the game engine Unity with C#. And although I didn't learn C# as part of the modules I chose, it was very easy to pick up because it's similar to Java and I felt well prepared to use it. In years 2 and 3, you can kind of tailor the modules to your interests. So the core and optional modules are on the university's website. Core modules include learning how to use databases with MySQL. There's a group software engineering project where you can meet in our new computer lab in the Percy G building, that's on the right. And there's also the design of software applications in human-computer interaction, which is kind of my area of research. And if you're interested in artificial intelligence, that's also covered in one of the optional modules. In the 3rd year, there is the computer science project over both semesters. You can either pick a project from a list that's sent round or suggest a project to a lecturer. So for my 3rd year, I created a puzzle solver for the game Neurocarbe, that was on the left. And some students, including some of my friends, decided in fact to make a video game inspired project using Unity and C# for their 3rd year. But I transferred to the MComp, so the 4-year undergraduate degree after my 2nd year, and so I also did a 4th year project, which was a competitive artificial intelligence board game player for the game Fox and Geese, which is on the right, but I'll just briefly demo this now. So I'll just briefly take you through the rules of the game. So it's 4 geese versus 1 fox, and the geese want to move upwards in the board so they can corner the fox and it can't move, and the fox wants to move down the board and move past the geese. The geese can only move diagonally forward, but the fox can move diagonal in any direction in order to give it a bit of advantage, seeing as there's only 1 fox. So I programmed it in Java, and the design is in JavaFX. So I'll play as the fox and the computer will play as the geese this time. So as you can see, as soon as I make my move, the computer takes its turn, and the blue squares kind of show where I can move my fox. So if I just play a bit more, as you can see, it's fairly responsive, and you can play as fox or geese, the computer will play against you regardless. And there were pre-existing winning strategies for the geese for 8x8 boards. However, I am using AI for this, and it analyses the state of the board. It's not just pattern matching, and you can see it adapts to how you play. For example, if I move left here, then that goose moves, but instead I move right, that goose moves instead. And there was a bit of innovation for the project. I'm just going to keep playing, which was that I created a winning strategy for 10x10 boards, and the AI I made more or less follows that strategy and can beat you quite easily, or it always beats me anyway. So yes, for example, so you can do, whatever you're interested in. There's a chance to do it for your 3rd year project, and I was quite interested in AI, so I chose that. So in your third year, you can choose modules in the field of cloud computing. There's the creation of mobile and web applications, there's machine learning and AI, cybersecurity and big data, among many others. And during my degree, I found that the modules provided a very good foundation of knowledge, as well as like the technical skills and practical applications to pursue my interests. It's very rare that I come across a problem where I haven't done something similar in the course and I can adapt to it. So whilst I've remained at Leicester, the same skills has allowed kind of fellow students to succeed in industry.